From Glamour to Grit, the rise and fall of the Puerto Rican television industry. By the mid-20th century, the entertainment industry revolutionized with the rise of television. In the early years of television in Puerto Rico, not everyone had access to a TV at home. In the 1950s, televisions were still expensive, so many families would gather at a neighbor's house or a local store to watch popular shows. By the 1970s, most homes in Puerto Rico had a television, making it one of the most popular sources of entertainment across the island, impacting both the economy and popular culture. Puerto Rico's television industry started in the early 1950s. Before that, in the 1940s, people would go to theaters to enjoy entertainment or listen to soap operas called novelas on the radio, but everything changed in 1954. That year, Puerto Rico welcomed its first TV station, WKAQ-TV, Channel 2. Known as Telemundo, it was launched by Angel Ramos, the man who owned WKAQ Radio and El Mundo newspaper. After WAPA TV in the same year, Channel 4 was launched and also began broadcasting. With only those two channels, of Puerto Rican television was born. Telemundo and WAPA TV became popular quickly by creating original local shows that opened job opportunities for actors and those behind the scenes. The growth of television in the island impacted the economy. TV stations hired more people, such as writers, camera crews, set designer, and makeup artists. Local talent and production companies played a key role in this success, helping to strengthen the television industry. Many local businesses invested heavily in television advertising, understanding its wide reach and influence on the people of Puerto Rico. The investment boosted the local entertainment industry and enhanced production capabilities on the island, leading to a wide variety of shows. With channels like Telemundo and WAPA TV leading the way, Puerto Rican television gave the island not only economic opportunities, but a voice and helped build a sense of identity and pride. These early successes prepared the way for what would become the golden age of Puerto Rico television, a time when a powerful part of the island's culture arose. As the TV industry and PR evolved over the years, it became an important source for those in the entertainment industry from the 50s to the 80s, considered by many to be the golden age of TV and PR.
Mira, en los 80 se considera una gran era, primero porque había aquí en Puerto Rico la producción local era gigantesca. Se hacían novelas, se hacían películas locales, los programas de comedia pues no rayaban en lo vulgar como ahora, se trabajaba mucha música en vivo todo el tiempo, estábamos tocando en vivo en los programas. Los 80 fueron fructíferos en el arte.
This was a special time where local TV had an ample variety of shows and artists became very popular. By the 1950s and early 1960s, variety shows, telenovelas, and comedies made Puerto Rico were shown every day. Families would gather around the TV to watch programs. One of the first big hits was a comedy show called La Taberna India. It was set in a local bar and used humor to represent everyday life in Puerto Rico. The characters were easy for people to relate to, and the show became a classic that many people still remember. Another popular show was El Show del Mediodía, which began in the 1960s and became a longtime favorite. It was a show that aired at noon and featured comedy sketches, music performances, interviews, and parts that reflected everyday life in Puerto Rico. This show became tradition for many families who tuned in during lunchtime. It helped launch the careers of several Puerto Rican entertainers and connected deeply with viewers by showcasing local talent and culture. Its mix of humor, music, and current topics made it a favorite part of Puerto Rican TV history. Other shows, such as La Criada Malcriada, aired in the 1960s and early 1970s during the evening, and it brought lots of laughter to Puerto Rican homes. There were also other comedy shows in the 70s, such as Los Garcias, which showcased a traditional family facing their daily life challenges in a close-knit neighborhood.
Y la mercancía le va a llegar muy próximamente.
Gracias.
Anyway, bye, gracias.
Ay, bien. Uno todavía como que, ay, ¿qué yo he hecho?
It became more popular in the 70s and 80s. Another popular show in the 80s was Los Cómicos. It quickly gained popularity among viewers due to its combination of humor, relatable stories, and culture pertinence. This show peaked in the mid-80s, ending in 1990, becoming an icon of local television and earning a fan base for its humorous content. Soap operas were also very popular, and a staple in every Puerto Rican home. Among them, most popular was Cristina Basal, a Puerto Rican take on the infamous Cinderella tale. The main character, Cristina, was a woman who had an evil sister and a widow stepmother that used her as a slave. And throughout the show, her and her sister's fiancé fall in love with each other. Other soap operas such as Daniari and Coralito became icons on national television with love stories about impossible love.
Yo quiero pedirte otra vez que...
Ya, no digas nada más.
In addition, there were also TV shows for children such as Tia Noel and Pacheco, which targeted youngsters with music, games, and stories. Another genre that peaked were variety shows, which also provided a diverse range of programs, such as Noche de Gala, which was a popular television event in Puerto Rico that brought the community together for a night of celebration and entertainment. It peaked in the 1980s, leaving a lasting impact on the island's TV culture by showcasing local talent and leaving a pride in Puerto Rico achievements. The Iris Chacon show, for example, had a big impact on the television industry during the peak of her show in the 1970s and 80s. Her lively performances and mix of music, dance, and comedy helped shape the variety show format, provided a platform for new artists, and inspired many Puerto Rican and Latin American, especially women in the entertainment. These programs not only entertained but also celebrated Puerto Rican culture and everyday life, making this era one to remember. These early shows didn't just entertain, but they also helped start the careers of famous Puerto Rican actors and actresses in the 1960s, such as Mapi Cortez, Esther Sandoval, Mona Martí, Lucy Bocona, and Walter Busso became household names. In the 1970s, soap operas reached popularity with stars like Angela Mayer, Ronaldo Barral, Braulio Castillo, Gladys Rodriguez, Joanna Rosalie, and Emma Rosa Vincenti. Later in the 80s, the artistic class was big and well known with artists such as Giselle Blondet, Braulio Castillo Jr., Alba Nadia Dia, Gladys Rodriguez, Marilyn Pupo, etc. This golden age of television drastically helped increase job opportunities as the main TV channels produced TV shows in the entertainment industry for local talent and boosted industries that were indirectly relating to television, such as marketing, advertising, and tourism. Traditional TV in Puerto Rico started to decline in the 1980s. It was clear that changes were happening and happening fast. One of the reasons it was declining was due to competition from other Latin American nations, especially Mexico and Venezuela. These countries had developed TV industries with a lot of financial support and international impact. Mexican telenovelas, broadcast by big networks like Televisa, distributed far across Latin America and the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico. Their production quality made them powerful competitors. Venezuela also produced influential and highly popular telenovelas that attracted viewers because of their melodramatic plots and glamorous casts. As the island's audience increasingly depended on these foreign shows, local productions struggled to keep up with their quality and popularity. This shift in viewing public taste contributed to the undermining of the island's once healthy television culture. Another reason was the rise of the internet, with streaming services like Netflix, YouTube, and social media gaining traction. Regular TV simply could not match this, and its once mighty hold started to weaken. Not only did the internet change the way people watch programs, but it also allowed for an incredible amount of extra external content. Puerto Rican television used to focus more on local stories and culture, but with the availability of so much foreign content online, local channels started showing more of that instead. It became harder for Puerto Rico to be able to maintain its cultural identity on TV. Instead of creating original shows, stations started using imported programming, which didn't necessarily represent the island's unique voice. Along with this, the economy also played an important role in the fall of television. Puerto Rico faced a serious financial crisis, and domestic businesses started cutting their advertising budgets, which just so happened to be one of the greatest revenue streams for TV stations. Without that income, it was more and more challenging to produce good programming. Public stations like WIPR-TV, which emphasized cultural and educational programming, also felt the impact of government budget cuts and were forced to cut back on local production. And just to make it all worse, people's own wallets were hurting too. With lower incomes and higher employment rates, many Puerto Ricans had to sacrifice things. For many households, that meant trimming back on satellite or cable television and switching to a cheaper online version. This adjustment caused even more people to ditch old-fashioned TV watching, and local stations struggled to stay afloat.
Según lo que yo estoy viendo ahora, la mayoría de los escritores lo que están usando es inteligencia artificial. Ya no se está utilizando el talento humano como antes. Lo mismo con la música. Yo soy de los poquitos, si no me atrevo a decir el único guitarrista en todo el país ahora mismo que estoy tocando en vivo en televisión, que todo lo demás es música enlatada. Y pienso que esa es la dirección que va a tomar la televisión.
The transformational changes in television have impacted the industry, and new steps needed to be taken to adapt to these changes. One significant consequence has been the impact on Puerto Rican cultural identity. The decline of Puerto Rico's television industry, marked by the closure of local stations and reduced homegrown content, is leading younger audiences to adopt global programming that increasingly disconnects them from their cultural identity and heritage. Furthermore, local television industry faced critical economic challenges, including declining advertisement venue, increased competition from international networks and streaming platforms, all of which contributed to a sharp reduction in locally produced content and job opportunities. Profits from productions usually do not remain in Puerto Rico, and crew members often secure only temporary job placements. This leaves local studios with minimal benefits and few long-term jobs, contributing to the fragile ecosystem. Networks are losing credit as advertisers move their focus away from traditional platforms, and the industry struggles to compete with the rise of streaming services. However, among these challenges, the Puerto Rican television industry has shown remarkable resilience and creativity in reinventing itself. Local producers and creators have begun to embrace new technologies and platforms. The rise of digital content and social media has opened doors for new and modern programming approaches that reflect Puerto Rican culture more vibrantly than ever before. The introduction of these new elements have attracted younger audiences, providing a fresh take on familiar themes. These partnerships enable local creators to reach wider audiences while bringing global resources and expertise to Puerto Rican storytelling. Local stations have also turned towards community engagement, producing content that addresses social issues relevant to Puerto Ricans. An example is the series Puerto Rican Voices, which highlights the energy crisis and displacement and economic struggles, giving visibility to real challenges faced by Puerto Ricans. This strategy not only strengthens community ties, but also captivates viewers looking for relevant and relatable programming. In essence, Puerto Rico's television industry has undergone significant changes from its early beginnings to today. The industry once thrived, contributing to economic growth and cultural representation and job creation, but later struggled due to several economic factors, among them globalization and the rise of digital media. As foreign content replaced local productions, leading to job losses, the lack of programming also weakened cultural representation, impacting national identity. While challenges persist, efforts to revive local productions and adapt to modern media trends offer hope for a renewed presence of Puerto Rican television, ensuring its unique voices continue to be heard.